At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 300 programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
Hello, excursionists. It's been a little while, and I want to thank you, truly, for sticking with me through the quiet. Life has been shifting behind the scenes, and I've been building towards something new. A few projects are in the works, not quite ready to announce just yet, but trust me, when they arrive, you'll understand why the pause was needed. More than anything, I've been working on how I show up here, for you, and for the stories that deserve to be told. So here's what's changing. Into the Night Anthology is moving to a seasonal format. From now through the end of the year, you'll hear new episodes every other Thursday, right up until our New Year's special. After that, the show will take a short break, returning in March for a brand new season. This new rhythm lets me bring you deeper stories, better production, and a more consistent experience, one you can count on without wondering when the next tale will appear. So thank you again for being here. Let's step back onto that twisted path together. And as always, take care of yourselves and each other. Are you ready? Welcome to Into the Night. I'm Nari, your guide on today's excursion down a twisted path. Be careful not to get lost. Be it dark or light, it's easy to lose your way. Are you ready? Then let's begin. This episode contains themes of parental emotional abuse and themes of death. Listener discretion is advised. The Best and Brightest Ben. Being a third anything can be difficult, but it seemed especially dreadful to Benjamin Buckley III. Even as a toddler, the unrelenting sense of disappointment he felt from his parents overshadowed his every move. Benjamin Harris Buckley II and his wife Maud didn't need to verbalize their opinion of their only child, although they often did. Little Ben knew he wasn't the type of son they wanted, or more specifically, that they demanded. Deep in his soul, he knew the caustic words only reaffirmed the sad state of his existence. "Why can't you be a good boy and learn your alphabet for Mama?" Maud Buckley squinted her eyes as she stared down at her son. His eyes brimmed with tears, but she paid no mind to him. "Claudia's son knows his alphabet already. It's embarrassing. Try harder." These words were some of the earliest memories Benjamin recalled. He was not quite 2 at the time that his mother chided him for falling so short. The disappointments only compounded over time. He knew without a doubt that he was the greatest failure of his parents' adult lives, and the strain bore down on him from that day forward. At 3, piano and dance lessons began. At 4, his parents added t-ball, soccer, tennis, and swimming. Art lessons followed soon after. Maud and her husband lamented the fact that their son showed neither athletic prowess nor intellectual aptitude at an early age. Nothing pained them more than the idea that their only product performed so pitifully. There were, after all, appearances to be upheld, and it was completely unacceptable that anyone could feel superior to the Buckleys in any way. "Perhaps, Harris," as Maud always called her husband. "We made a mistake having a child. He's not at all what we thought he would be." Seldom involved in his son's upbringing, Harris nodded in agreement and encouraged his wife to do what she could with what they had to work with for a child. Maud, always a stickler for details, devised a schedule she displayed on the corkboard that hung in the wall in the foyer. Every waking moment of young Ben's day was filled with one activity or another. Playtime never appeared on the schedule. Ben's efforts to have it added were quickly quashed.
"Mother, can I please play with Jimmy and the other kids in the neighborhood? I won't stay out long."
"Benjamin, don't be ridiculous. You know you have piano lessons now."
"But what about after that? Can I play then?"
Maud wrapped her index finger onto the schedule. "It's 3 o'clock. Here at 4 you have math tutoring. That's nothing new. Why do you insist on arguing with me?" Ben opened his mouth to speak. "Don't. Just don't, Ben. The schedule cannot be changed. If you're ever going to catch up with others in your life, you can't take time off to play. You've already shown that you're behind. Play is a waste of time. I don't care what Jimmy's parents do with their son, but no 6-year-old is going to dictate to your father and me. Now, get to the piano this minute." Tears welled in his eyes, but he did the best he could to not cry in front of her. History had proven that only made his mother angrier. No, it was better for him to bottle his feelings up inside and remain the dutiful son he so desperately tried to be. The years that followed resulted in one failure after another. "Harris, we have to do something about Benjamin. What will others say if he continues to be so defective?" Her husband furrowed his brow as he considered her question. "I may know of a solution, Maud. Let me talk to a few people I know at the university. There may be a program we can enroll him in there that will help. It's cutting edge, but I think I can pull some strings to get Benjamin in." "Cutting edge? Oh, I like the sound of that. Yes, do whatever you can to enroll him in the program before we are embarrassed any further. I swear, I caught Monica and Luann saying it's a shame our son isn't up to par." A tear formed in the corner of her eye. There, dear. No need to cry. I'll talk with my colleagues tomorrow, I promise. We can fix Benjamin. It's not too late." Harris pulled her close to him and held her. Fixing their son was exactly what Maud wanted. What Maud Buckley wanted, she usually got. Harris returned home from work the next day to tell her the exciting news. "I spoke with Dr. Bremerman. He said he'd be thrilled to include Benjamin in his program. There's paperwork we need to fill out, but he's optimistic this will help him." His wife's eyes sparkled for the first time in months when discussing Benjamin. He'd proved to be more of a burden than a blessing, and Maud openly admitted that she'd felt she'd lost the child lottery. "Harris, this is the best news I've heard in years. Thank you for giving Benjamin a chance to not be a disappointment." "I know how this has troubled you, Maudie. I'd do anything for you." In the coming weeks, Ben's parents shuttled him back and forth to one doctor at the university after another. "Mother, I don't feel sick. Why am I at the doctor?" "Don't question me, Benjamin. You may not feel ill, but you are not well at all. You need to do what your father and I tell you to do." Still confused, Ben watched the passing sights out of the car window. He didn't like these doctors his parents dragged him to, but he knew it did him no good to tell his mother that. His father wasn't around enough for him to tell, but Ben knew if he could tell Benjamin Buckley II how he felt, it wouldn't matter. Maud the Mighty ruled supreme. Weeks filled with brain scans and sleep studies followed by surgeries. Physically, Ben felt miserable, but the treatments worked in his mother's estimation. With every new step and every procedure, Ben's IQ grew. With more abilities gained came something he'd never had before: his mother's love and approval. For the first time in his life, she had pride in her eyes when she looked at him. Intellectually, he knew this was an improvement. His emotions, however, weren't affected to the degree they should have been. And this made Ben wonder why. Shouldn't I be happier now that Mother isn't embarrassed by me? Why can't I enjoy the love she's showing me now? Ben didn't have the answer to those questions. He didn't let his mother know his emotions were unmoved by her sudden increase in affections. He smiled, played the dutiful son, and acknowledged her interest in him. He noticed other changes in his emotional health as well. While his academic success was undeniable, the higher his IQ rose, the less he wanted to socialize with others. I remember begging my parents to let me play with other children in the neighborhood. I cried and pouted because they invariably said no. I don't know why, but now that I'm older, I don't care to be around other children. I'm perfectly content with my books. Maybe I'm simply growing up. Ben shrugged off his indifference about friends, and his parents never noticed. So enraptured were they in his growing intellect that they scarcely cared about his social and emotional well-being.
He's going to do great things now, Harris.
Maud beamed at her reflection in the mirror as she readied herself for the dinner party that evening.
Now we are the envy of the other parents, and it's lovely, isn't it?
Harris put his arms around her and looked into the mirror with her. Yes, dear, it certainly is time that we had something to brag about. I know that the doctors have helped to a degree, but I truly believe that Benjamin's natural abilities are finally coming out. He was a late bloomer and undoubtedly would have eventually come around.
I couldn't agree more. I'm sure he would have done just fine without the doctors, but I believe they sped up the process. I can hardly wait to compare our scores to the other children's over dinner.
Harris smiled. He, too, was now proud of his son, but he was especially pleased with his wife's improved humor. Maud referred to any of Benjamin's achievements as our successes. She wasn't about to be left out of the limelight he now garnered among their peers. She had, after all, been a driving force in his improvements. While Harris contacted the medical team, it was she who demanded that something be done to help their son. So she considered herself an equal part in his newfound accomplishments. Every Tuesday, Maud took their son to the university where he met with the medical team. While pleased with her son's improvements, Maud often appeared bored and impatient while dropping Benjamin off or picking him up. The medical professionals among themselves worried that the Buckleys may not be vested emotionally in the study. Dr. Bremerman, what do we do if the Buckleys choose to remove Benjamin from the study? He's too valuable to lose. The following Tuesday, Dr. Bremerman broached the subject with the Buckleys and implored them to continue the appointments. I can assure you that his gains will be thwarted if we do not continue. He's made so much progress that it would be a shame to lose ground at this point. It's vital to his success that Benjamin continues in our program. Maud may have deluded herself over her role in her son's development, but she was a realist. Of course, Dr. Bremerman. We wouldn't dream of ending Benjamin's treatments. The man let out a sigh of relief and ran his fingers through his graying hair. The team will be very happy to hear that. Benjamin is making such progress. It's important that we see this through. Harris spoke up. Of course, we want Benjamin to reach his full potential. We're pleased with the improvements we've seen in the past year. Please continue helping him. For the next several years, Benjamin Buckley III spent countless days either in the hospital or being observed by members of the university team. At first, he didn't understand what was happening to him. I'm not even sure Mother and Father know what's being done to me. What's all this about? Eventually, however, Ben became self-aware, and he even surprised the doctors who cared for him with his level of understanding of the project. Dr. Bremerman, now a man in his 70s, felt a sense of paternal protection for the subject of his long-term study. While his parents barely noticed Benjamin's social withdrawal, it troubled Dr. Bremerman. Ben, I'm worried about you. You seem sad. Thank you, Dr. Bremerman, but I don't think what I feel is sadness. Instead, it's isolation that bothers me. I can't relate to other people. Give me any mathematical formula and I'll solve it. Ask me to tell you information about 1,000 random topics and I'll do it quickly and accurately. I'm missing something, though. Missing something? Yes, I'm big here. He pointed to his head. I'm small here. He pointed to his heart. I understand theories. I can calculate problems, but I can't relate to other people. I don't belong, and I worry that I lack empathy. I can see where that would trouble you. Think of all the amazing advancements you've made in science with your abilities, though. A sense of satisfaction should come with that, right? Benjamin's shoulders slumped. Yes, I suppose so. Thank you for talking with me, Doctor. After the elderly man left the room, Benjamin sighed. I don't think he understands. How could he? How can he? Benjamin's success in the world of science and business was undeniable. At night, however, when he no longer had to smile and pretend to be social, he sat alone on his couch and contemplated the emptiness he felt inside. No amount of knowledge replaces what I'm missing. In fact, the more I learn, the more empty I feel. Years passed, and in time, the people who surrounded Benjamin became ill or died. His mother's demise was most distressing. In her older years, when she lost her beauty and need for appearances, she underwent a humbling of spirit. Instead of caring about social standing or what others thought of her, she now realized what she needed in her life was the love of her family. She wanted genuine emotion, and with her husband long deceased, she turned to Benjamin for the love she craved. As her time drew near, Benjamin sat stiffly next to his mother's hospital bed. She reached out and held his hand, but he did barely more than briefly squeeze her hand in response. Benny, I know I wasn't the best mother in the world to you, but your father and I have loved you. Won't you show me any sign that you love me back? He stared blankly into her eyes. I wish I could, Mother. You made me this way. You got what you wanted. What do you mean, Ben? I've only ever wanted the best for you. No, you wanted me to make you look good. Do you think I don't remember when you were embarrassed by me? When simply being myself wasn't good enough for you? A tear trickled down the corner of Maud Buckley's eye. Please, Benny. He stopped her. No, Mother, you did this. He pointed at himself. Do you think I don't know what you did to me? What the doctors at the university did to me? I'm not a simpleton. No, I'm the genius you demanded I become. And you didn't care what lengths it took to turn me into one. You created a genius, but you destroyed me as a person. Benny, we only wanted what was best for you. No, you wanted what was best for you. The doctors at the clinic wanted to make history. No one cared about Benjamin Harris Buckley III. No one. Now he's gone, and you are left with nothing but what you asked for. Surely somewhere inside you is love for your poor dying mother. After all I've done for you? All you've done for me. When you sent me to that clinic of torture, you gave them permission to implant a neurolink into my brain. You killed me. I can't give you the love you ask for, Mother. It's not that I won't. I can't. Long ago, I realized what a monster you turned me into. I'm not half man and half computer. I've lost what made me a man altogether. He rose from his seat next to her and walked to the window. Don't talk like that, Benjamin. Your father and I tried our best. The doctors truly cared for you, too. I was used as a prototype, nothing more. Thanks to you and the mad scientists in that clinic, you've unleashed the undoing of mankind as it was. No more emotions, only cold understanding. The Neuralink is more powerful than humanity, Mother. You helped create the end of humanity. Benjamin, please don't say these things, not now. I'm dying. I need you. He turned and smiled a cold smile at her. Of course, you still only care about you. Now of all times, it's still about you. Don't worry, though. When I'm gone, others will do the bidding of the monstrous wheels now set in motion. I was the guinea pig. I'm not needed anymore. Maud Buckley reached her hand out to him, but he ignored her. It's a lovely view from here. I can see exactly 12.86 miles. It will take exactly 4.2 seconds for impact. I've lived to provide you what you wanted, a son you could be proud of. I became your winning ticket in the child lottery you so desperately sought. Now you're dying, and I am free from that burden. It's time to stop this madness. You've had your best and brightest Ben for long enough. Goodbye, Mother. No, Benny, don't! He ignored her pleas, opened the window, and plunged to his death. His last thoughts, brief as they were, celebrated the closest feeling to emotion he'd had in years. And it was the sweet sensation of freedom. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Into the Night Anthology podcast. Written by Caroline Giamanco, narrated by Nari. Theme music by Nico Rodriguez. All other original music, sound design, and editing by Omenhawk Studios. You can find our links in the show notes. Into the Night is on your favorite podcatcher, so make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a 5-star review to help other excursionists to join us. I'll see you next time. And remember, whether in the shadows or in the daylight, all twisted paths lead you into the night. Into the Night Anthology is a Creative Typo Entertainment production.